דודי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. Here they come. דודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. מי זאת עולה מן המדבר, מי זאת עולה מקוטרת מור לבונה, מור לבונה. דודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. דודי לי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים. ליבבתיני אחותי כלה, ליבבתיני כלה, ליבבתיני אחותי כלה, ליבבתיני כלה. Oi! Dodi li, Denny, I think we better.
It's already going, right?
It's already Harashanim. Dodi li, va'ani lo haroeh vashoshanim. Uhuri ta'afon, uvo iteman. Let's hope it stops soon. Ta'afon, uvo iteman. Dodi li, va'ani lo haroeh. Here I thought I was going 3 for 3, but it's 2.5. Vashoshani. Vihiti milvanon, vihiti kala tavoy. Vihiti milvanon, vihiti kala tavoy. Limonot arayot. I'm worried about this. Jenny, I'm worried about this.
Oh, yeah.
Meherosini Betemon.
Take it away.
Limonot arayot. Meherosini Betemon. Inach yafa rayati enayich kayonim. Inach yafa rayati. And she's going to walk around him 3 times, and he's going to walk around her 3 times. Mimonot arayot meherosini bechermon. Mimonot arayot meherosini bechermon. Inach yafa rayati enayich kayonim. Inach yafa. It's the fastest wedding I've ever done. All right. Inach yafa rayati. Can I have an umbrella, possibly?
Extra umbrella, anyone for the rabbi?
All right. I really do think that we've done what we needed to do. I think we should move to maybe the reception area and do the wedding.
The audience wants.
No, you guys have to decide that. You're the ones in charge now.
Unveil me really quick. Unveil me. Thank you.
All right. All right. I think we've come to a consensus that we're going to move the ceremony to wherever the reception is. They're under the chuppah. I won't read my whole spiel, but let's at least do now, if we can, the exchange of rings. What?
The light coming? You
Huh?
see the sun?
Yeah. I said before you got here, I said 3 out of 3, because the last 2 weddings I did also had rain, but the last minute it cleared up, and it did. Yeah. But we didn't. Our luck didn't hold out. Why don't we?
Would everyone hate us if we wanted to stay?
What?
Then we're staying.
Okay, then. I need an umbrella. All right, but I may flub up some of my
fine,
beautiful lines. Okay. All right. Mi adir al hakol, mi baruch al hakol, mi gadol al hakol, uvarech atan bekala. May the one who is holy bless you, the bride and the groom. And as a symbol of your commitment, we are asking, this is part of their program, if you can still read it, they're going to pour the 2 glasses of wine. I hope the microphone stays up, but that's covered. 2 glasses of wine, which they chose, into one. This will become their Kiddush cup, their ceremonial goblet. Oh, yes, yes. Noah is with us. Noah's blessing us. And the dove. So pour the 2 glasses of wine into one as a symbol of your joining together of your lives, your fates, your souls, your hearts. Yeah? No, into that. Yes. Yeah, right.
We're cheersing.
Yes, right. Maybe we'll make it. Okay. It's just that this is I'll do it by heart. Okay. Okay. Oh. Since the dawn of recorded history, women and men have consecrated their marriages. It is said in a midrash. Oh, guys, you can sit down. No, you don't have to stand. Who told you needed to stand? Oh, because it's getting. Oh, the benches are getting wet now. Oh, you guys. Well, you voted. No, so I'll be as brief as I can. It is said in the Midrash's commentaries on the Bible, on the Torah, said that none other than God himself or herself braided Eve's hair in preparation for her wedding to Adam, and he brought her to Adam. The first pairing of souls was celebrated and performed as a public and consecrated event. So now I ask you, in the presence of your family, your friends, your community, and God, and the Son, do you, Dennis, choose to join in covenant with Katie as your bride? We're just saying Dennis and Katie, or Denny and Katie, promising to love, honor, and sustain her and to build a home with her based upon the Jewish traditions and your shared values and traditions. And if so, say, I do.
I do.
He does. And do you, Kathleen, choose to join in covenant with Dennis as your husband, promising to love, honor, and sustain him and build a home with him based upon our Jewish traditions and your shared values and traditions? And if so, say, I do.
I do.
Okay. And so as a sign of your covenant together, we will, and I'll say this now, not to embarrass or bother anybody, this feels to me like a Jewish wedding, or at least Jewish style. Dennis is not in the tribe. Yeah, it's all right. I'll do fine. Dennis is not in the tribe. So there's a vow that's done, a traditional vow that says, behold, you were consecrated to me according to the laws of Moses in Israel. So like when Dances with Wolves, the Kevin Costner movie, he goes to the medicine man and says, will you marry me to this woman? She was white, but she had been raised as a native. And the guy says, that's the only ceremony I know is our tradition. But so what I did is I evolved another vow instead of the traditional one. And it is a verse, which I can find, which some of you may know from Hosea. And go get the rings, wherever the rings are. Yeah, in the wet pocket. Yeah, in the wet pocket, okay. And we're gonna manage. This is gonna, as long as the rain. Okay, now I just can't. I'll just do it by heart. With this ring, you say the words. With this ring,
with this ring,
I betroth you to me
I betroth you to me
in righteousness,
in righteousness,
in love, in compassion,
in compassion,
and faith.
and in faith.
And according to tradition, you put it on her right finger, right index for a moment, just the right hand, right hand.
Right hand.
Raise, yeah. Just for a moment, just the witnesses, and say, see, and then you can, and then you can transfer it to the left. Okay, and this is a double ring ceremony, so Katie is going to put a ring on his finger or through his nose, if she wishes, and she can say the same thing. This is from Hosea chapter 2. I betroth you to me eternally.
I betroth you to me eternally.
I betroth you to me in righteousness and justice,
I betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice,
in love and compassion,
in love and compassion,
and trust and in faith.
in trust and in faith.
And there you go.
Right hand.
Right hand. Just,
Yep,
yeah,
same
yeah,
for me.
tradition, yeah. And then on the left hand, yeah. Okay, so I'll be brief, but we think we move. Look at it. Go ahead, you guys. I said I was batting 3 for 3, except that, the benches are wet. I did a wedding a few weeks ago in Jackson Hole. Same thing, and we were out in a field somewhere, far away from where we could have gone inside. And they said, no, we're going to do it, and it cleared up just in time. I think the brides have the magic, and the same thing happened last weekend. You should meet the couple I did the wedding for last week. So in chapter 2 of chapter 1 of Genesis, we read how a transcendent God created everything, male and female. In chapter 2, it appears that there's a different God with a different name even, and says, it creates a human being, Adam, people mistranslate it as man, and then says, but it is not good for man to be alone, for human to be alone. And so they borrowed from Plato this idea that maybe this first human being was androgynous and really had two genders, and they were facing back to back, opposite. And so God split them in half, turned them around to face each other, and the moral of the story is ever since then we've all been looking for our other half. Well, it's clear to anyone who knows you two that you have found your other half. And so this is really, you didn't have the power to control the weather. And the other spiel that is that this is a sukkah. I mean, this is a chuppah, but in a few weeks we will be building outside a canopy or a tent. It's called a sukkah, the holiday of Sukkot. It's what the pilgrims base Thanksgiving on. And so those two symbols are very connected, the sukkah and the chuppah, this tent of this canopy or hut that we build out in the fields to symbolize our connection to nature. And this is a very temporary structure. So we live in the world, most of us live in houses and apartment buildings, but there are two temporary structures that we build in our lifetimes. One is the sukkah, the desert booth. The other is the chuppah, the wedding canopy. Every year the sukkah, this agricultural holiday right after Yom Kippur, reminds us that once we had no permanent place. We wandered through the desert, and we were happy to reap the harvest at the end of a growing season. We were wanderers in the desert, and easily the sukkah can collapse. The wind can blow. Mine always does blow down, especially in Wyoming. The chuppah is different. Who could mistake this little structure for a real house? And thanks to Nathan and Jack and others who put it up and decorated it. So this building is a symbol, this little tabernacle is a symbol of their home. And it really reminds us that the walls are non-existent, and yet you're the only ones under it, not me. I'm just back here. And your families and everybody else is looking from the outside. The openness of the chuppah reminds us that there should be no secrets between you. Friends and family stand at the corners. The roof is sometimes a talit, in this case a beautiful canopy like this. The man and the woman have left the desert of their loneliness. They have come from afar to be together, and really from afar in your case. The flimsiness of the chuppah reminds us that the only thing that is real about a home is the people in it who choose to love and build a home together. The only anchor you will have will be holding on to each other's hands, which, by the way, you can, if you like. All right, so the chuppah, this canopy, is the symbol of your promise together. And now, yes, thank goodness, The guitar is expendable, by the way. Where is the
What are we looking for?
the ketubah? Where did it go?
Put it away for the rain.
We rescued it.
Ah, okay. So I will read what I have from you. All right. Well, it'll be a public display. I don't know if I have the text of it here. Yeah, I don't think I have the text of the ketubah. The ketubah, well, I'll give my spiel anyway. They wrote their own text. As I explained to the family inside, we signed it. We signed the state document. But what this is, this contract of marriage, is a covenant between the two of them. So it says, on this day, they chose to enter into the covenant of marriage freely and openly. But it's more than that. In the old days, as some of you know, and I explained it to the family, this ketubah just means document, signed thing. Here we got a lawyer here. We got any lawyers here? So you all know, yeah, it's quite a few. You all know that if the party of the first part doesn't do what the party of the second part wants, the party of the second part can sue the party of the first part, et cetera, et cetera. But a covenant is different. A covenant is something that you renew all the time, that we have with God, or with whatever you want to call a higher being. And if we mess up, we don't. God doesn't say you're fired, you know, or if he doesn't take out the garbage, or she doesn't do. I'm not just saying stereotypes, but do a good meal, or you know, whatever you do, or he doesn't do a good meal. You can't just say that's it. It's over. What you do is you renegotiate the terms of the covenant. And what I said inside when we signed this is it's not only this day or tomorrow or next week. It's hopefully for you guys a covenant for the rest of your lives when you're old and gray, like some of us are. And and it could be the covenant that your soul made before you met. And that really feels like it's right for you. So it was signed by the witnesses. And I'll say at least the words that are on the bottom of the page. It says, and all of it is affirmed and holy. Right? The kol sharir v'kayam. So, and we are, you know, even though it's not raining, we're going to go right through this. So do those of you have the programs? Yeah? So it falls to me now to say just a few words about you guys, if I can find them in this mess here. Katie and Dennis wrote me a lot of things. I've gotten to know you pretty well, I think. And the moment I met you guys, I said, this is a cool couple. Not just cool like millennial cool, but or Gen Z, whatever it is, but really, really, you have deep souls, both of you. You met through Brenna. Where's Brenna? There you are. Who was Kate's mentor in law school. And then he came out to live with Brenna during the COVID year. We won't mention, that's the first and only time I'll say that word, COVID. I was 2 times. And they were introduced at a Halloween party, which was very interesting because Dennis was wearing a crayon. He was dressed as a crayon, but she still thought he was very cool. He was attracted to her energy, and I don't remember all the details, but he talked to somebody else and say, how about, you know, tell me about this really interesting woman. And Kate wrote that she admires his optimism, his peacefulness. You all know this already. Why do you need me to tell you? He is steady, level-headed, even to the point where just now you saw it. You know, let's not panic. let's stay. And the weather improved. Denny, it says he admires Kate's never quit attitude, even when things seem stacked against her. And as some of you know, they spent the first 6 months of their relationship kind of on a sprint. He was in Chicago, and he knew that he was going to have to go back there for his teaching job. And they talked about marriage almost on their first date. The only questions were how many children. Not that that was all they talked about, but they have the capacity, as you know, to talk about deep things fearlessly. And I saw that in my conversations with you. It's not like she has to lead you and say, let's talk about a difficult issue for me as a woman or me as an attorney. They spent the summer of 2021 taking long road trips around Wyoming, Colorado, and Chicago. Boy, Chicago is the scariest place for me. They figured out, they flipped the script. They talked about all the difficult conversations first. They have a thing in mental health, they call it rule out. Say, is this person, oh, there goes the mic. So they did all the heavy stuff first. And if people didn't think they were crazy enough about marriage, talking about marriage on their first date, Dennis moved in with Kate after only 2 months of dating. And there it goes. I'm telling you, this is really great. Well, fascinating. And
Thank you.
When I was in Israel, I got lost a lot. I mean, I'm fluent in Hebrew, but I learned from that, you gotta trust your angels, but you gotta tip them well. Yeah, so they moved in together. They credit their solid foundation to this fast tracking of their relationship. But as you know, the following 2 years were tough with the back and forth and her passing the bar and moving here to from Laramie, finishing law school. It's been a fast track all the way. In a matter of 3 months, she also had some health crises, which I'm not going to get into, but they weathered all those. I guess you'd say is if you can make it through this time together, you can make it through anything. the next 25, 30, 50 years. So they've moved in, they bought a house in Cheyenne. I'm thrilled. This is not just one of those, hello, I'm marrying you, goodbye things. You're going to be members of my synagogue. It's going to be great, and you're going to help us to rebuild this little community in Cheyenne. Last thing I'll say, not the very last, but they are yin and yang, and I don't mean that in a negative way. Yin and yang actually in the Chinese philosophy, some of you know, actually are complementary. They have polar opposite backgrounds, but they bounce off each other. They solve their issues and differences. They call themselves puzzle pieces that fit together exactly. So they're committed to having a Jewish home, raising Jewish children, and yet at the same time embracing universal values. Without getting into the political scene, they are committed to what we call tikkun olam, social justice. And it seems that had this one more. And not only was there rain, but every couple I've done the last 3 weeks has all had the same kind of story. Tell them about the time we got stuck in the snow. And they got stuck in the snow. The only difference between you and Sean from last week is Sean, he couldn't find, they were stuck in the snow and he couldn't get his pants on. And he went out and started digging out the car, and then the tow truck drove up. And he said, what are you doing in your underwear? So at least you had clothes on. But it was a blizzard on I-80. They got trapped in Cheyenne, at least they lived there, and they found a hotel that would take them. And so they quickly learned, not only weather, but all the issues that go into a relationship. Last thing I want to say is to mention some of the loved ones who are not here. I'm sorry, I was going to do that at the beginning, but here we go. Grandma Edna, Brody, Denny's younger brother, Grandma Jan, Grandpa Dennis.
We wanted to say a special thank you
Thank
to
you.
Grandma Jan.
Who's here?
Grandma Jan's right there.
Grandma Jan is right there. I'm sorry.
She gets a special thank you.
Grandma
for
Jan
helping
gets a
make it
special.
happen.
Grandma Jan making it happen. Okay. All right. So Grandma Jan is here. That's what happens when the script gets rained on. All right. The rabbi's doing okay.
You get a special thank you.
Thank you,
Jan,
Grandma.
For helping with long distance would not have happened without you. We would not have a house if you didn't give me breaks on rent in Chicago.
Right.
Rides to the airport, free doggy daycare.
And that note, since it was still raining then, would you please do your vows, since I skipped over that? Okay? Which I was supposed to do. You can grab the mic if you want. I'm doing okay. I'm doing the best I can under the circumstances. They have written their own vows as well. Can we get some more towels and perhaps you guys can wipe the seats? There you are. Oh, yes. This poor dress. Yeah. Okay. We're almost there. We're almost finished. Time for Jack's part. Okay.
The most beautiful thought is the fact that I've always loved you. Even before I knew what those words meant, I knew that I loved you and that I was loved by you. Up to this point, my whole life was spent preparing to be with you, to find you. And I sought solace in the thought that you were somewhere out there doing the things I was. closing my eyes at night, dreaming of the sound of your voice, the color of your hair, reaching out to the heavens to feel your hand in mine. My love, how I have yearned for you. And the way in which I see you and feel you, this pulsating beat trapped underneath my ribs, it beats for you and you alone. And I know that no other shall see me the way that you see me, and no other shall see you the way I see you. On the other side of me, there exists and always has existed you. Every day I am in awe of you, blown away by your beauty, intelligence, and perspective. I feel divine love in the small moments we share with each other, and I vow to keep those small moments alive in our marriage. From laughter to staring into your eyes to dances in the kitchen. I vow to always be your rock, to be strong and steady for you, to keep you calm in the storms of life, to listen to you vent and complain about everything from the insignificant to the challenging. Even when I falter in patience, know that my heart is always yours, and I can always muster up more for you. I vow to be a man of growth and change for you, to never be content and always want to strive to live a better life. Together, let us build a home rooted in love, where I will always call you a 10 out of 10.
Oh. Turn the mic on.
My mom always told me that I should have two requirements in finding a future spouse. The first was that if someone wasn't willing to get down on one knee and beg to marry me, they weren't the one. So thank you for that. We can check box number one. The second was that I had to admire my future spouse so completely that every single day would feel like running a race to try to keep up with a person who motivates me to be as wonderful as they are. My mom and dad have been together for more than 30 years. And to this day, my mom will turn and look at me and say, "How the hell did I get so lucky with your dad?" A common question that people ask is when we first fell in love, or said I love you, or knew we were going to get married. The moment of reckoning for me, though, was when I caught myself looking at you and asking, how the hell did I get lucky enough to be with Denny? It is a privilege and an honor to love and be loved by you. I cannot wait to meet and fall in love with every single version of you that you will become in our lifetimes. You absorb and reflect the wildest facets of my personality so that I am always the best version of myself when I am with you. Judaism views the union of marriage as the reuniting of a soul that is split in half. I didn't think much of that when we first got engaged, but the closer we've gotten to the wedding, the more I've been dwelling on it. You and I have often talked about the concept of yin and yang. We took a personality test a couple of weeks ago. About the results. Half exactly the same, half completely different. That's a running theme for us, dichotomous. An introvert and an extrovert, a night owl and an early bird, a tornado of intense emotions and a perfectly peaceful lake, a mathematician and a girl who can't divide. Such perfectly aligned goals and shared values. And I think that that is where the meeting of the souls happens. Not to spoil the ending, but in the final moments of the wedding ceremony, you will stomp on a wine glass, and all of our guests will shout for us. There are many reasons for this tradition, but the one that I think is right for us is acknowledging grief in a time of joy. Life is chock full of contradictions, just like us, but even bigger. Light and dark, good and bad, love and despair. That's what it means to be human. So there's nothing more perfect for us on our wedding day. The commitment that we are making here today is for the rest of our lives, till death. As everyone here knows, for people as young as we are especially familiar with life and death. And so it all comes full circle for us. Without death, there would be no heart-stopping joy of experiencing something for the first and maybe the last time. The grief that follows someone's death is a final precious piece that we have of the person that someone is missing.
There goes the mic.
When I commit myself to you, I want us to acknowledge death, the darkest of dark and the lightest of light. It makes us more merciful, more loyal, more appreciative, and everything else that's holy in a marriage. So this I vow. Always find joy in sorrow, humor in anger, faithfulness in despair, creativity in dilemmas. Just as you and I are opposites, so shall I spend the rest of my life finding the contradictions and loving them with my whole heart. I could be granted no greater blessing in this lifetime than the opportunity to grow old with you. And though I've never been a particularly spiritual person, I must admit, one lifetime couldn't possibly be enough with you. I love you with every beat of my heart, and with whatever part of me might come after that stops.
Wow. This is probably the first time that the bride upstaged me. She said it better. No, I did no ego involved. Beautiful, beautiful writing. And I did not see that before they said it. So what I just wanted to add a little bit of is that this moment is something that we all take part in. We are all part of this together. So I'm going to ask the 7 guests, 7 family members, to each recite some of these blessings in English. And now we haven't drunk the wine yet. So Denny, you take the wine. You got to hold it for the whole 7, though. You don't get to drink till the very end. And the first blessing, if you can find it on the page, will be read in English by Vanessa Miller.
We bless you, Infinite One, power of the universe, for creating the fruit of the vine, the symbol of joy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Number 2, Mary. Just shout from your seat. There you go. Go ahead.
We bless you, Infinite One, power of the universe, for creating all things for your glory.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol bara lichvodo. Number 3 will be read by Janet Maurer.
We bless you, Infinite One, power of the universe, for creating humanity.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shebara zachar v'nekeva. See if I can find that. Go ahead.
Bless you, Infinite God, for fashioning woman.
The 5th blessing, is it 4? Yes, 4. The 5th blessing asks that we be kind of blessing in the spirit of Adam and Eve in the garden. And that will be read by, can't go back there, Aaron and Matt, yeah.
May our land be happy and rejoice, till the mother whose children return to her in joy.
We bless you, Infinite One, who rejoices with Zion and her children.
Sos tasis v'tagel ha'akara, b'kibbutz baneha l'tocha b'simcha, baruch atah Adonai, misameach Zion b'vaneha. And number 6 is also very cool. It alludes again to the land of Israel. It says, well, go ahead and you read it and I'll explain.
May these loving friends rejoice like the first couple in the Garden of Eden, and may their union help to create a paradise on earth. We bless you, Infinite One, for causing this groom and this bride to rejoice.
Sameach tasamachrim ahovim k'zamechacha yitzicha b'gan Eden mikedem baruch atah Adonai v'sameach atan v'kala. And last but not least, number 7, read by Uncle Jack, and that's where I'll ask you to clap along. And got the tambourine. Yeah.
We bless you, Infinite God, power of the universe, who creates joy and happiness. Bride and groom, mirth, song, gladness, and rejoicing, love and harmony, peace and companionship. May there soon be heard in the cities of the world and in the streets of Jerusalem voices of joy and gladness, bride and groom, the sound of lovers in their chuppah, of soulmates shouting at the wedding feast. We bless you, Infinite One, who brings joy to this groom, Dennis, and this bride, Kathleen.
All right. And you can drink while we sing to you. Otherwise, no, you share. You share. Give it to her first. Yes. And this is where we ask you to clap along and join in. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu haolam. Not yet. No, I'll give you a cue. So will Lorenzo. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu haolam. Here we go. Ashebaros sansom v'simcha chatan kala. Ashebaros sansom v'simcha saton v'chala. Gila rina v'hitza v'chedva ahva v'achva v'shalom v'reut. Gila rina v'hitza v'chedva ahva v'achva v'shalom v'reut. Meher Aron Aleinu yishama b'arei Yehuda uv'chutzot Yerushalayim kol sason v'kol simcha kol chatan v'kol kahala. Kol sason, the voice of joy. Kala, kol chatan, v'kol kala. Kol mitzalot michatani mechuatam. Boy, I'm glad it stopped raining because I can read this. Unarim mishtayishtei niginatam. Baruch Adonai misamechatan im hakala. And we give a big amen. And very last kind of thing, this is one of the blessings that I chose that they have chosen as well. It's very appropriate. Now you will feel no rain. For each of you will be shelter to the other. Now you will feel no cold, for each of you will be warmth to the other. Now there is no more loneliness, for each of you will be companion to the other. Now you are two bodies, but there is only one life before you. Go now to your dwelling place, to enter into the days of your togetherness, and may your days be good and long upon the earth. And I have one last little thing. My blessing is Yevarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. And you know the blessing, you say, Kain yehi ratzon. May it be your will. May God bless you and guard you. May God lift up his countenance upon you and be gracious to you. Shalom. May God's face be lifted upon you and bring you all the paths of peace. And so we're at that moment now where it is a tradition, as we said. The breaking of the glass, as some of you know, goes all the way back, don't you? It goes all the way back to the loss of the temple in Jerusalem many, 2,000 years ago or more. And so after the temple was destroyed, people were still joyous at a wedding or things. So the rabbis around that time said, don't, you can't be so joyful because look, the temple is lying in ruins. So they began this custom of breaking a glass to kind of remind people of sadness. But over the centuries, it took on other meanings. One of which is the idea that, boy, you guys must be cold over there. I'll make it, finishing up, may you always remember that your heart is fragile, that you don't want to break anything, that looking at each other, the importance of the finality of this moment. And so we break the glass to kind of say, this is it, go forward. One last thing, which they did not do, but I want to mention it, is today is like a little Yom Kippur, which is only 3 weeks away, a little day of atonement. The past is over, all the sadness is over. And it's customary to fast, which they didn't do. But that's okay. So, and you have magical powers today. You can go to anybody in this gathering or friends and give them a blessing. May you have soon your beloved. Yeah, okay, somebody's, yeah, right. That kind of thing. Yeah, I need one too. But the power, you saved the weather. So I ask you now to step on the glass. We all sing Mazel Tov, and then they don't forget to kiss. Then we all go out and we get our coats dried off, and we gather for the Nash.
Ready?
Ready. Mazel. Oh my God. I can't. Do it again. I think it's